In this scenario, what I found is two things. One, we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. But two, our business partners, our coaches and mentors, they don't view us as competition. On the contrary, the feeling was more so they see us as their future. So they were willing to invest, right? Invest more time, energy, and resources. So it was a different feel and approach, more relational than transactional.
So we worked at the apartment complex. I did all the maintenance. April did all the management stuff. Worked out a deal where we could buy it. And then when we actually got conventional financing, one of the gentlemen that ran properties in that area literally told us that he was hoping we would fail so that he could buy it.
Wow.
Like, on cheap, right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't being like mean or spiteful.
There wasn't
It's just kind of like that
Dialogue,
the way of the game. And then we look at you guys. We don't even really know you guys, but I know if we had somebody in Orlando, if you guys had somebody in Gainesville, we would be doing everything we could to help each other. And it's like what I see in the outside world is a lot of scarcity mentality, and everybody's trying to just get and hold but then in this community, it's how can we all just help each other, and how can we all just make everything better for everybody?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we like, not only about the community, but the corporation itself.
Yeah.
Amway itself has always been like, hey, how can we make things just better for everybody?
Well, in a different perspective, I in the corporate arena, it's the same thing. So I was actually a major account executive in wireless, and as I progressed through the corporate ladder, so to speak, it was the same concept. It's almost like individuals were not excited for my progress because that potentially meant that I was threatening their position or someone else's promotion. And it's almost like in that space, I was like competition.
And I think one of the best things about that is when you have new partners that have never been in business before, we're able to kind of give them a realistic idea of what that's going to look like. It's not going to be like you get in business today and you're, making millions of dollars in 6 months. It's like you're building something, and it's going to take time, and just helping them navigate those beginning phases to whether or not have these really high expectations or unrealistic expectations.
Amen.
I mean, you're learning how to network and build something that's, and that I think that for us, just to see the progress of people that become, initial partners, and then the progress over the first year or so, and then just the excitement that they know that they've learned some skills that they can put in place, and they can really make a difference.
Because you're teaching them like
life skills,
principles, like truths. From business owners, we had no expectations when we bought the apartment complex that we were going to buy it, do nothing, and be rich,
absolutely.
right? Which is what most people, I think, hear.
We were just talking about that.
So we knew we were going to work and work it out and grind it out until we started reaping the fruits, of the labor.
100%.
So.
For me, I grew up very traditionally. My parents, they had traditional businesses, and then I had siblings that had traditional businesses. So I always had like an entrepreneurial business mentality, and I always knew that I wanted to work for myself in some way, shape, or form. I just didn't know what path that was going to lead to, but I didn't have any type of business background or business experience or credibility, just a lot of ambition, work ethic, heart and hustle, if you will. But I was in a place where I was definitely open and seeking more so of guidance.
Well, it's neat because, I think we're from the total opposite background. Like her mom worked for a hospital for like 30, 40 years. My dad worked for airlines forever. So we had like zero entrepreneurship, business ownership. You know what I mean? And we bought the apartments, but we worked there. So stepping into this new venture, it was cool because you literally can start with no education, no nothing.
100%.
And people will teach you every step of the way. That's one of the things we liked. We're like, wow, this is cool. We don't have to figure stuff out. It's already kind of figured out for us.
Or even by yourself. Because that was the biggest thing, us being so young. Like, we didn't understand everything at the beginning, but through the mentoring and the conversations and the dialogue, we were able to become who we are today.
Absolutely.
That's why we appreciate and respect your story so much, because just similar to our coaches and mentors, they gave us so much space and grace, but they met us at our needs, right? They didn't have this certain level of expectations. They kind of figured out we were, met us there. And as we elevated and matured and grew, so did their guidance and their investment in us. So we appreciate your perspective very, very much.
We appreciate yours too. And it's very different. It was very different for us because our parents were so ingrained in the job world. When we said that we didn't want to go back and buy another apartment complex. We wanted to, do something different.
Love that.
They had a hard time with that. But
Really?
They did. But, once they started seeing the results and seeing, things, slowly but surely they came around. But not everyone is going to have the same perspective or not going to understand. They're not going to have that same discernment there's so many other ways to create income, but you have to be able to willing to step out, try something new, and you have to not be so swayed by other people's opinions because everyone has opinions and 100%. You have to decide what's right for you.
Yeah.